Take
Great,
it away.
Jeremy. Thank you. Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Ruffo with Enuma, and we're doing experiences designed to connect people um, in ways that you don't normally get connected, and even beyond sort of the avatar sort of connections that we're having right now. Our focus is in the college and university student market right now. The trends prior to COVID were pretty bad, as can see in these slides, where students were consistently feeling overwhelmed, anxious. And with COVID, we're seeing some horrendous numbers in terms of um, how do I go backwards? Oops.
If you're using controllers, it's just the other controller.
Here we go. So these are some numbers that came up in a survey from June of college students or college age students. And extreme loneliness and isolation is really sort of the focus that we're going after. And as all of us are learning, the tools of social media that are intended to keep us connected are oftentimes making sort of isolation and social anxiety much worse. And so what we're doing are experiences of awe and interconnection. And awe is really sort of the driving motivator of this in order to give people an extended sense of self. And I'm going to show a video in a little bit of what our experience is like, but it's bringing together group practices, a live facilitator, in VR, and taking people through a group meditation that really is about expansion of self and minimization of identity, of the sort of identity that's constantly being reinforced through things like social media, and really giving people a sense of what it feels like to be truly interconnected with other people and the world. One of the design principles that we looked at is in terms of experience of awe, we're using this survey tool called the MEQ 30, the Mystical Experience Questionnaire 30. It's a survey tool that's used in studies of psychedelics to judge the subjective experience of the person who's gone through the psychedelic journey. And it uh, scales people against four factors: ineffability, mystical experiences at a unitive sort of experience, positivity, and transcendence of space and time. And the two blue lines there are results from two different studies that we've done with our experience. First in a location-based mode, and the second in a more geographically isolated, dislocated version, where the results we see, as you can see here, higher on this table is better across the four factors. And what we got were results that were statistically indistinguishable from a moderate dose psychedelic journey. And these are mostly studies, 26 studies that came out of Johns Hopkins University in regards to psychedelics. So we really started with the idea of, can we create these mystical type experiences? Can we create these experiences of awe? And what are the factors that would lead us to that, and design principles around how do we create these sort of experiences? So students come in for 1 hour sessions. They're grouped together in groups of 3 to 6. Um, each individual is physically isolated in a VR node, but they're joined as interject essences in the virtual space. And so in the lower right-hand corner here, what you see is, you'll see this in the video. This is a still from the video there, of sort of a virtual campfire scene where uh, at the beginning of the experience and at the end of the experience, the participants are brought together for some sharing. And this is a still from that scene where you'll hear people actually talking in the session for real share.
Imagine stepping into a safe, playful world where our luminous, embodied essence is all that matters. Anuma's group meditations allow individuals in different locations to come together in the same shared virtual space. Using beautiful, subtle aesthetics to avoid the sensory overload common to virtual reality, our experiences give participants a deeply felt sense of connection to themselves, to others, and to the majestic beauty of the world beyond.
When you meet people outside of here, there's so much like superfluous stuff on top of, there's layers of personality and layers of expectation and stuff that they also portray in that. Whereas I think weirdly here, when you're seeing someone, you lose all of that and you just kind of see authentically like a pureness in it, if that makes sense.
It's playfulness.
Yeah, definitely.
This is the closest I've been to any strangers in a year.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's good.
Yeah, it really is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Kind of feel like I know you guys now.
Yeah, weirdly.
Welcome to Anuma.
Thank you. Upper. So you heard the discussion at the end, but the participants come out feeling very connected with themselves, with feeling connected with other people, and certainly in this time of social isolation through COVID, we had many people who were actually tearful and crying towards the end. Yep. So long term, we're thinking beyond the college market. The college market is a way to get in and to collect data, to continue to work on the experience. But the long term opportunity is taking this college market and the brand that we can build there beyond the college market directly to consumers. Right now, we're entering into our pilot phase. We're seeking seed funding to build out versions for the Oculus Quest, to do some work with audio, to build in biometric reading as part of the dynamic experience, and to do some other functional things. But the seed funding we're seeking gets us through our pilot and into a phase two in the 2021-2022 school year to scale up from 25 to 100 sites. We're working with a number of different schools, both as research facilities as well as these are potential pilot sites for the January pilot. This is myself. My partner Joe is in this room someplace. Dave Glowicki is a physicist out of, actually, he's in Europe, out of Germany now. We've got a team that's based mainly in Bristol, UK, and we're seeking $750,000 in seed capital to build out, to go to pilot and build out this next version that can we scale with. Any questions?
And feel free to come up on stage to ask Greg a question. I got a question while we wait for the others. So I'm curious, you mentioned that there was, in the video, a very powerful moment where the woman was saying, well, and this is the first real interaction I've had with people in a very long time. Could you mind sharing with us just what were some of the other moments or impactful moments that you found, or things that you discovered that you were able to impact like on a level with these folks who ran through your test?
So there was data collected both before and after the experience, and one of the things we saw was that we raised on a scale of 5, I think 1.7 degrees. So it doesn't mean much, but um, people showed how connected they were feeling with their community around them before they went in. And basically, people were saying, I'm not connected with my community at all. And when they came out, they were basically saying, I'm connected. I feel connected to my community. And it's a strange sort of scale or metric to use. It's called inclusion of community and self, but it was actually pretty remarkable, the results we got from that. We also saw people coming out where the sense of egoic identity was diminished, and they felt much more part of the group, not just in terms of connection, but less closely identified with their identity. People enjoyed the movement. They enjoyed. Um, Surprisingly, people felt in some of the experiences we do, there's a very close virtual intermingling. And some people found that actually quite enticing and intimate, and other people found it actually a little uncomfortable for them because it pushed boundaries from them in terms of where they felt comfortable in a good way.
Very, very fascinating. Thank you so much, Greg. Can we all give Greg a round of applause? Thank you for the presentation.
Of course. Thank you.
At this point, thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks. And if you'd like to chat with Greg, feel free to chat with Greg in the lobby outside, and you could click on his email to shoot him an email.